going, guys? It's Joe with LVV. So this is a 407C system, which is totally dead. You notice right there. There's very little refrigerant in the system. The way you know that is the subcooling is basically zero, non-existent, open, and the superheat is 90. Okay, so whenever you have that subcooling, non-existent, superheat way up high, that means that you have no charge or very low charge. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna fill this up with the tank upside down. We're gonna clear this right now. We're gonna clear the line by opening this up, opening this a bit. Let's first clean that. We want to get any air out of the line. You open here, connect it from here, right up to here, then you close it off. Let's make sure this is open all the way. This is upside down. We're going to zero this out here. Zeroed. Now through the suction, nice and easy, we're going to fill this up. Customer doesn't want to, we looked around, the leak's, it's a very small leak in the coil probably, or one of these coils here or upstairs. There's nothing apparent in any of the joints. She doesn't want to change the system, she just wants us to fill it up for now. Okay, legally, you only can fill up the system, I think it's 3 times. So after that, you have to condemn it. So we're just gonna get her up and going because she's got an elderly mom in the house, and we'll just get it going for now. And then if it's really bad, we're going to have to change it out for her. You see that? Now all of a sudden the scales will start going negative. You want to slowly put it because you're putting liquid directly into the machine. You can't just flood it right in there. You'll get something called a flooded condenser. No good. Now you notice right over here is R20. It's R22. We convert this over to 407C. Took everything out, and this condition we put right in there. And it's got 68 ounces to fill this up in a 25-line set. Okay, this is right in there. So just about, it's going to be 4 pounds. So we're going to weigh in 4 pounds. If you take that 68 ounces, divide that by 16, that'll give you that 4 pounds roughly. Alright, so this is, right here is pounds on the left, and then you have ounces and hundredths of an ounce. So that's 11 ounces, 0.50, okay, plus half an ounce. So we're going to get that to go up to, we're going to have that go up to about 4 pounds. And like I said, we're going to put it nice and slow. See, I stopped putting it in. I want to allow the any liquid to burn off, and I don't want to flood the compressor. Sorry guys, I got a phone call in between that. Alright, so you see how it's 26 degrees VSAT, it's vapor saturation. So it's 27 degrees in the evaporator. My probe SLT, suction line temperature 73, that makes that 45. We keep on giving it a little bit of juice. Allowing it to go up ever so slightly. You're going to see that's going to go down, subcooling's going to go up. The back pressure is 81, the head pressure is 154. Then you're going to see, it's going to count up 16 ounces, boom, it's going to go to 2 pounds. So you see 1475, 15, and there you go, 2 pounds. Now I'm going to stop it for a second because I want to make sure that we're not just dumping liquid directly into the compressor and overwhelming the compressor. It's a little hot in that house, so you're going to have the head pressure is going to be a little bit higher, and then as the air inside the house gets a little cooler, everything will drop down as well. You really can't go by superheat and subcooling when a house is really hot also. You really should get it down to around 75 and then start dialing in on subcool and superheat, guys. So we're weighing it in, so we know exactly how much this is going to take, another 2 pounds. All All right, so we know. So I'm not going off a subcooler superheat right now. All right, because we know exactly how much to put in with the line set and everything. But on average, you'll probably get around like a 10-15 subcooling and a 10 to 20 superheat, depending on the day and if it's an Orphis or TXV. TXV really should be right around 10. All right. So I'm gonna keep on putting a little more in. The colder that evaporator, the faster it's gonna suck it in. So gotta be careful. Just stopped it at 211, let any liquid burn off from anything. When I open, I just crack it very slightly. So if any liquid's going in, it's gonna come together with that hot gas. It's gonna boil off right before that compressor. So you don't want it to overwhelm. So now you have 15 ounces and 3 pounds. Have you noticed that SLT was over 70, right? Now it's down to 60. Why? Because that fat pipe right there, which is the suction line temperature, which is the SLT, that is connected to the evaporator. All right. When you have enough refrigerant in the evaporator, it won't get overwhelmed with the heat that's inside all the hot air, and then that superheat won't be at 90, you know, it'll be around that 10, that 15 that you're looking for. So we're gonna let this kind of sit for a little bit and we'll get back to you guys. Right now there's 3 pounds in there. All right guys, so the customer asked us to put the sealer in. We'll put the sealer in this one time. After that we're gonna possibly change this unit out. So now there's no air in these lines. This was bled, this everything has just refrigerant. So this here came out of the ACE seal. And they want you, this is the way I do it, okay? Let me show you. This, we have, right down here, we have low loss. So I can take this off and no air is in this line now, okay? Nothing's in this line right here because it doesn't allow anything to go back. It's got a one-way valve. So what we do is we're gonna put this in here. That's already pre-sealed, you don't have to worry about that. This on. See, it kind of sucks it right in. But what you do right after that is you're going to open up. Let me see if I can get this here. You're going to open up the high and the low side, okay? You can open this up, crack that. You see how it goes right in, no longer yellow. So what you do is you force it from the high side through the gauges down into there. This is closed off already. Okay, there's nothing going in. We're not adding refrigerant. Make sure that we're closing the bulb out too. But this is open right now. You crack it. Just like that. You see? You actually see it shooting through if you're a little closer. Okay, now the directions are to leave the unit on for an hour. Right? It doesn't do any damage if you shut it off, but it's got to get throughout the whole system and find that leak. And then when it starts to come out, like a scab, it'll just kind of bond up, okay, at that hole. So once it hits air, it's the air and chemical mixture that hardens up, bonds up, and then it should hopefully stop that leak. They say if it doesn't leak out within 7 days. I've had good and mediocre results. So some people love it, some people hate it. And I find after I do this, if I'm charging extra, I pull that out, I put my gauge back on, because sometimes it doesn't allow the refrigerator, restricts it from the refrigerator going in. So I take it out completely, slap that back in it, and then continue to charge if we need to. But we're pretty good right here. All right, we ended up putting around 3.5 pounds, because it had a little bit of a charge in there. And if you notice now, that suction line temperature is 50. So this is 50 right here. Okay. All right, and your liquid line is 88. All right, so it's coming out of it's 96 degrees. All right, because 215 is 96 degrees of temperature, from pressure to temperature ratio. And then it gets cooled by the condenser down to 88, and that gives you your 8.5 subcooler. Okay, so it's hotter when it comes out of the compressor. It's cooled by the condenser fan and condenser coil, and that cooling is 8 degrees, 8.5. Over here, it's 47 degrees inside the. It's 47 inside the evaporator, and it warms up to about 50. The reason being is it's not a super hot day. Okay, guys. Because it's not a super hot day, you're not gonna have a big load. Big load, you'll see that number will go up. The temperature in the pipe will go up a little bit due to the hotter air and the heavier load. We're at the beginning of the summer right now, so. All right, so when we came here, we had a 90 superheat, we had an open OL for subcooling. Now we got an 8.5 on the subcooling, a 3.5 on the superheat, which we don't want it to go down below. Okay, we don't want it to go down below zero. If it goes zero or below, that means liquid's coming back, and that's no good. Okay, so we'll watch that for the next 15-20 minutes. But however, then we put a sealant in there. Hopefully it slows it down or it seals it up so that these guys can have a good summer. And that's it. All right, guys. Talk to you guys all later. This is like an emergency thing, guys. You don't want to do this every single case. You want to find the leak. All right, we tried last year, but it's in the coil somewhere. She didn't want to go buy a whole new system. But this will get people through certain scenarios if they need another summer adder or something like that. All right, so talk to you guys later. Enjoy.